Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
yes,
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 sir.
yes.
Yes, sir.
You
Okay.
can
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, this is visible.
Yes,
Higher
sir, it is
education
visible.
in India, in our own country, we are going to discuss. And then let me discuss with you this important, I think, points that is very, very important to all of you. Essence and the purpose of education. What is the purpose and the philosophy of higher education? Education as a whole. So education is nothing but to create a credible education system which is capable of ensuring inclusive quality education and lifelong learning for all the citizens of this nation. It also produces students who would be equipped with the knowledge, skills, attitude, and value that are required to lead a productive life. So what is basically? And to participate in country's developmental process. So Viksit Bharat before us, Viksit Bharat, the idea, the vision of Viksit Bharat, the developed nation is before all of us. And to respond to the ever-changing requirements of the globalizing knowledge-based economy. Today we are saying that we are living in the era which is called as the knowledge era, knowledge economy, knowledge society, and to develop responsible citizens who respect the Indian tradition, who can acceptance of diversity and history, and to promote social cohesion and religious unity. So this is the essence. Unless until we are going to do this kind of things, unless until we are able to cultivate this kind of ideas or this kind of a spirit in the society, I think we cannot think of the Viksit Bharat, we cannot think of the developed nation. So this is very, very important. That must be taken into the consideration. So let me tell you some of the key challenges, means pertinent challenges our education, more specifically the higher education, is facing today. What is this? First one is the growth and the access. So we have learned a lot about quality is a serious concern. I hope you all are listening to me and taking my points. Growth and the access means what are the important ones? Today, let me tell you where do we stand in terms of the what we call a gross enrollment ratio in higher education. So here I will be able to give you some of the statistical facts and the figures which are around the world, means the developed country. What is the gross enrollment ratio in the developed nation? Because our target is to achieve that one. So if you take the United States of America, which is considered to be the very developed nation, over there, the per capita gross enrollment ratio of higher education in that country is in the range of 85 to 90%. If you see the European Union societies like France, Germany, and the UK, here we know that 65 to 70%. In case of Germany, Germany has crossed the 70%. In case of UK, 62 or 63%. France is having 65%. And if you take in Asia, like South Korea, it has crossed 90%, 94, 95% gross enrollment ratio is there in that country. So why I am giving? Because we are looking forward to achieve this kind of status, means higher developed nation in our own country. So we need to increase this gross growth. We need to, and here I would like to bring to your kind notice that if you see the document of National Education Policy 2020, it is clearly said that we have to achieve the target of gross enrollment ratio to 50%. And 20 years before, the situation was very pathetic. It was considered to be 10 to 12% gross enrollment ratio was there in our own country. Anyhow, we have managed to reach the level of 27 or 20, 25, 26, 27. I think it varies. So here, by 2035, we have to make it double. So it's a very, it seems to be a very Herculean task. before all of us to achieve that one. Means we have to take this gross enrollment ratio, existing gross enrollment ratio from 26, 27% to 50%. So how it is going to be done? So we need to have some sort of a strategy to accept that one. And the international gross enrollment ratio is around 35%. So even today, if we see, our situation is even the gross the what we call it the global gross enrollment ratio, we are below of that one also. So it becomes very important to increase, not only at the cost of quality. Quality is a serious concern. We cannot deny this fact, but we need to increase this gross enrollment ratio. And here I would like to bring to your kind notice that only increasing the gross enrollment ratio is not going to help, in the sense that ours is a country, or for that matter any country is a, we all know that differentiated on the basis of many indicators are there, many dimensions are there. Take our own country, which is considered a country of the villages. Majority of the people live in the rural areas. And here, if you see this gross enrollment ratio, that is 27, 26, even then it is in many categories. So even rural and the urban, there's a problem. And the other one is gender. Take the example of gender. Women constitute 50% of our national population. But if you see their presence anywhere for any sector, any economic activities, or any even in politics, they are grossly underrepresented. Means we are not using our full potential. So they are relegated. Once the social category, that is called women, are relegated to the background. So we need to bring them into the main stream. Then we can think of a real sense of the development and the growth. So here growth is not only relating to statistics, in the sense that only we will be able to achieve the target of 50%, the problems will be over. No, we need to make our education, our approach, that is called all inclusive. Means how we are talking a lot of this kind of concept, inclusive growth, inclusive India, inclusive. So everything. So here we need to take all the social category, socially disadvantaged sections of the society. So we are differentiated, we are divided on the basis of caste, creed, urban, rural, or gender. So all these issues these all are the challenges. So we as a faculty must take all these issues into the consideration and come with our own findings. If the policy will be formulated on the basis of the findings to which we all are going to do, or which we all are doing it, because we are handling the higher education practically, and we understand better the problems, challenges, issues which are plaguing our society, or which are plaguing the system of higher education. So first one is the growth and the excess. It is one of the very challenge. So only statistical enhancement is not going to do the real kind of things. Rather, we need to take within that issues, as I highlighted, gender must be taken. So how we will be able to make the society or make our class, because we all are the professors and the intellectuals. So how we are going to create the atmosphere or environment that would be called as the gender sensitive environment in our own university, in our own academic institutions as a whole, in our own society. Quality issues, as we have been discussing since independence, how to improve the quality in terms of research, in terms of pedagogy. So we all have, I think all these things have been discussed in this National Education Policy 2020, that how we are going to create the class which would be learner-centric, means student-centric. So it should not be the teacher-centric, Rather, it should be is learner centric. And for that matter, what kind of a strategy we are going to follow, so that as we say that how to manage the diversity in the classroom. Today, diversity has become a big, I think, issue. So how we are going to address? So on the basis of our own experiences, I think we will be able to do that. So how a student can learn maximally, we as a teacher need to ponder, we as a teacher need to understand the pedagogy, science of teaching. Then I think we will be able to do it. So this has been discussed in great detail. So when we talk of the quality issues or quality concern or the quality assurance in education, more specifically the higher education, lot of things have been said. Again, there's a need. You as a teacher need to ponder, need to study deeply what kind of a strategy could be adopted so that quality could be assured or ensured in the domain of higher education. If we are not going to do it, I think we will be lagging behind and will keep lagging behind. So we as a teacher, we as a faculty, we as an intellectual, we as a teacher must ponder over. And if you see our function, or our role and the responsibility. So our main role and the responsibility is to generate new ideas, new knowledge with the help of research. Unless until we are going to make research very deeply, we are not going to impress the students. We are not going to have the impact, maximum impact in the classroom. So first one is the research, generation of new ideas, new perspective, new understanding, new knowledge. And if we are going to impart the same, means we are going to translate this new knowledge to the students, I think they are going to listen to us. Otherwise, students have become very challenging today. With the help of this information technology, they have rather more access to all these new kind of ideas or knowledge. So we, by the virtue of our own experiences, because we have a lot of investment, and we have also done the research. So we need to do this kind of exercise. Then we will be able to address the challenges. We will be able to contribute in the domain of society. Second, the other challenge again is relating to that one, equity and the social justice. So only a statistical, I think, increment is not going to do. Skills and the employability. Again, what kind of education, what kind of skills are required today? I think we have been talking and we know that unless until there is a correspondence between the industry, requirement of industry, society, and the knowledge, I think things will not move in the direction. Means I think if you see the Kothari Commission report, it is also available in the public domain. What he basically stated that he said that I think a lot of study. He was the chairman of the I think education commission at that time, and he said that whatever the education we are imparting, means we are producing unemployable youths, means men and the women in the society. So how our education, how our curriculum should be formulated in such a way that could address the real challenge which are pertaining to the society. So here curriculum development becomes very important. So there should be match between the two. And unless until we do this, I think our students will not be employable. So we are only going to add some unemployment. So there should be complete correspondence between the requirement. So what kind of requirement would be there after 20 or 10 years down the line? See the pandemic. Pandemic struck the world, and what kind of labor requirement would be there? We as a faculty need to forecast, we need to study, and according to that, we can bring the change in our syllabus. So curriculum development, curriculum change becomes very important. So we need to update, and what we are doing. And today, let me tell you one thing again is very important. Since early 90s, lot change has taken place. We had opened our door, and economy or the society became very open. Thereafter, what happened actually, if you see this total scenario, lot changes is taking place very rapidly. So many private, many private university came into being. We all know that because we had to increase the gross enrollment ratio. So if you see today, 1200 plus universities are existing. So including all the private university, 45 to 50,000 colleges are existing in our own country. But at the time of independence or in the 50s, hardly 20 universities were established. 500 college, 5 to 600 colleges were there. So we have increased the number. Even then, these numbers are not adequate enough. So what basically is required? Quality and quantity, means expansion. Both the things become very important, and the syllabus, curriculum. And today in this contemporary world, in this globalized world, we all are watching that how our students can be globally competitive. So not only in the national economy, not only in the national market, but in the global market. So we need to see all these things, and we will be able to bring all these issues into our curriculum, international curriculum. And today, as how we are benefiting, how we have benefited, how we can benefit with the help of the ICT, information communication technology. See the situation today. It's a magic. It seems to be a magic in the sense that we are sitting at our own places and we are being benefited. We have been connected. So it is the technology which has brought these kind of facilities. And so how we are going to use these ICT or these facilities, digital, as we talk of today, that we have to incorporate that online and offline together. That is called hybrid or the blended learning. So a lot of things are going to come. It has already been come in our own curriculum activities. So this is again very important. These all are the challenges. Digital divide, and we are working that how this ICT could work and how these ICT could be basically managed by university, academic institutions, so that we can benefit and we can work in the direction of achieving the target of the Vikshit Bharat, teacher development and the management. So here it becomes means like this a faculty induction program, orientation program, and then NEP orientation sensitization. So now I think if you see in the 80s, only 45 academic staff colleges were established. Now see the name has been changed, HRDC and then MMTTC, but the function is the same. So now 127, more than 100 centers have been established under the aegis of different university and the important colleges, and they all are asking you, requesting you, and so that you could come and do this kind of exercise like faculty induction program, then short-term program, refresher courses. Yeah, how why it has been done so that we as a teacher can update our knowledge, and we can also get inspiration, so that once we are inspired, once we have the knowledge, we can impart the same to the coming generation, means the future generation or to the students. So in a way, we are going to contribute, and we are contributing immensely for the progress and the development of the society as a whole. And then the governance and the management. I see, if you talk of education, higher education, so let us talk about the system, higher education system or education system, to which we are not all alone. Means only faculty is not alone. Administrative staff, top level management, support staff. So many stakeholders are there. Government is one of the very important stakeholder, which funds to which way we get the fund. So here, not only the teaching means academic staff is all alone, but we need to see the governance side. So we say that governance and the management becomes very important. Unless until we are not going to bring out the good governance and the better management in our own academic institution, in our own university and the college, I think things will not move in the that direction. So we as a faculty will not be able to contribute much more. Of course, we are important, but at the same time, even support staff, administrative staff, top level management, these all are equally important. So what it has been thought that try to let us try to give this kind of I think what we call it training to not only to the academic staff but to the even the vice chancellors or the top level management like vice chancellor and his entire team like finance officer, registrar, deputy finance officer and everybody, and of course assistant registrar and then all these staff. I think here this MMTTC, which was called Academic UGC Human Resource Development Center, the function of that center is to impart the training to the academic staff, administrative staff, even top level management as well. So bringing governance, good governance becomes very important, and the better management becomes very important. Then we will be able to bring a change in the curriculum, and the rightful kind of course could be introduced, and how equity and the social justice will be brought in the system of higher education or education as a whole becomes very important. And of course, research and the development. Where do we stand today? I think, see, it has been realized by government, and now NRF, National Research Foundation, is going to be established. Already, bill has been passed. So when this NRF will be introduced or will be established, so they will fund. Of course, apart from the ICSR, many research bodies are there, so they can fund hugely to the faculty through the university and the college, so that we will be able to make our research, because research is directly related to development, economic development, social development, and all kinds of development. So research, we are doing our research, no doubt, but I think we need to do much more, and we should also get the fund for that matter. Financial issues, I think it has always been there if you discuss in a very systematic manner. So I think we don't have other alternative, but I think even all these public funded institutions are there. See, now very recently, I think a Foreign Regulation Act has been passed, and foreign universities have started coming in a big way. So here we are not going to only compete with the private bodies of private university. Rather, we are going to compete with the foreign university which are going to open their campus in India. So if the healthy kind of competition will be there, I think it will be a very good for the nation, for the country as a whole, and we will do something which we have not done in the past. So these are the broader key challenges to which I wanted to discuss with you. And of course, these challenges are very important. So let us be a little bit specific. What are the challenges, current challenges, and the future challenges? So taking that into in a broader way, just as there's a growth in demand for higher education. Means there is an increment of, as it is said, if you see the uh, what we call it, University Grants Commission, I think that is education for all. So it is the monogram, or it is the vision, education for all. Unlike the British India at that time, education was only confined and was given to only a few class of Indians who were elite. But now it is education has been made to massify and to for everybody. So a lot of what we call a challenge is there as how to meet the demand for everybody. So these universities, as I said, that 50,000 colleges, it is touching 50,000 colleges, and 12,000 and 12,000 stand-alone institutions are there. So this is all, but this is not good enough. So because we need to achieve the target of 50% gross enrollment ratio, and along with that, we need to see the social equity, social justice, and inclusivity. Means no any section of the society should be left out. So we have to see to it. So there's a growth in demand for higher education. It's not only a strategy, but it's a challenge before all of us. As how we have to grow, we have to increase this gross enrollment ratio, but at what cost and how? It's a very important. So we have to do it. The other challenge is already we have discussed that financial constraint. Government has its own limitation, has its own way of doing the things, but it is being said frequently that we have to generate 30%, and the time will come, then it will be asked to every university that you have to increase, you have to manage at least 50%, and then 100% could be possible very soon. So we as a teacher, we as a intellectual, come with our own understanding, come with our own finding, what kind of solutions we can provide. And for that matter, we have to be very objective, we have to be very innovative also. Let me tell you, we have to be very innovative. So we have to suggest, we have to recommend to the government, because we are dealing the higher education practically, what kind of problems we are facing in the class, in the university, or in terms of management, in terms of pedagogy, in terms of many things. As it is said that some of the teachers said that students are not interested to study. So how the students can be made interested? I think there is something wrong. We as a teacher must try to understand, as we say that we can put our position in terms of the student at the student, and we can understand. So if they think that whatever I am going to get the education, whether this education will be fruitful for me in future or not. So we as a mentor, we as a teacher, convince them. And let me tell you very personally that if we are going to teach very well, and or to suggest something or to mentor in a better way, I think we can attract the students, and the students will definitely listen to us. So we have to put a lot of effort. So how we all are going to do is very important. We have to be innovative. Otherwise, we will not be, as a faculty, we will not be able to survive with this very tough and very competitive situation, which are emerging in a very rapid way. And of course, education, higher education, to how we are. I think only for administrative purpose we have seen the higher education, primary education, secondary education, and then tertiary education. And if you see this scenario again, out of 2%, even not 1% is 0.8 or 0.6% is only for higher education. So I think this is very unbalanced kind of approach we are adopting. So what could be the better way? I think you as a teacher, you as a faculty, come with your own deep study, objective study, and suggest the policy making body so that policy could be formulated in a better way. And then I think here let us try to understand what are the expectations on the part of the society from the academic staff to which we all belong. I think it is said that I think you must have heard about the destiny of any society or destiny of India is shaped or created in the classroom. Destiny of any society, it is said that we as a teacher are the basically destiny maker. We consider ourselves, and the society considers that we are the destiny maker. So destiny is shaped, created in the classroom. So how we are going to deal with the students? Because everybody comes through this system, higher education as a whole. And so here it becomes very important. There's an ability to handle a growing proportion of students and diversity. As already I have told you that diversity means in your class, in my class, I think there are some students, a group of students who are extraordinary. There are some students who are considered to be the slow learner. So what kind of a strategy we are going to make so that every student can learn? So how to make the class, convert the class, which would be learner centric. For that matter, many new teaching aids are there. So unless until we are passionate about our teaching, of our profession, I think things will not take place in the right direction. Faculty should be, I'm not saying anything here. The faculty means we, the teachers, should be outward looking and sensitive to the needs of their community, means the students as a whole. What kind of requirement is there? We as a teacher, when we say that we as a teacher need to understand surrounding the requirement of our own country, then I think it would be it is going to be done in the right direction. So already we have discussed the concern for quality. So it's ongoing process and it is going. So in 86 made it clear, I'm talking about the Kothari Commission, quality in higher education is still its major concern, because we have to compete, we have to see. So lot changes, pedagogy is changing, and contours of knowledge is also changing. So we have to take all these considerations. So in 64, 68, and then 86, now 2020, I think according to time, place, condition, situation, we are changing our policy, our everything, because it is the requirement of the time. We have to meet the time. So what kind of situation would be there in by 2035 and 2050, as we are saying that by 2047. So we have to see all these situations so that we will be able to make. And technological change affects all disciplines. Yes, it has been done. So what we as a digital divide and everything, sometimes those teachers who have become senior, they think that अब मेरी क्या जरूरत है इसको सीखने की. I think technology, see, uh, we should outsmart the technology. We should handle all this technology. So it is not, technology is not going to surpass, technology is not going to dominate over dominate us. Rather, we should dominate on the technology. Technology is for the humankind. So if we are going to use in the proper direction, see the situation around the world, very pathetic situation, very alarming, very disgusting situation. So we are talking a lot about as how to inflict injury to the other one. And at the global level, many wars are going on. You all are saying, even in 21st century, we are fighting and war is going on. This is very disturbing. So we as a teacher must try to understand as how to, what is the ultimate goal of life. IT to create peace and stability and happiness. These are the ultimate goals of life. So technology should not be misused, rather that should not be abused. So that should be used to create human awareness, or the as human comfort also. I say that this is very, very important. Not nuclear weapon. We all are warning. So that should be used as how to create a stability, how to, I think, do the many kind of things that will create happiness in the society. And basically the dharma of teachers, let me tell you, intellectual, is to create this kind of society, create this kind of atmosphere over there. Only peace could prevail and the stability could be established. So this is the purpose of the technology, not to create any kind of human disaster. And the one point, so already I have discussed, means there's a need to improve women's participation, because they constitute 50%, but they are represented, they are missing, grossly underrepresented, even at the top level, even at the lower level. So how we are going to create So for that matter, we as a teacher must try to understand. So values, the real values must be understood by all of us. And how it could be done? So we as a researcher try to make a research on the basis of your major findings, objective findings. There should be policy implication. So we have to do it. And there's a need to improve disadvantaged groups or the social. I think there's a need to have all inclusive policy in order to include all weaker sections of the Indian society for the development and the growth of the nation. So these are the challenges. So there's a need to improve women's participation. So it is one of the challenge. How it will be done? You as a teacher come with your own ideas, come with your own findings. And again, I think we are working. I think somebody was talking about the human rights. I think that is important. So if we are not going to do this kind of exercise, means we are uh, we are just silently watching and we are not intervening in the right kind of direction. So how we can do it? I think we should start at our at our class level, at the micro level. How we can create the society is to the I think class which would be gender sensitive, which would be inclusive, which would be based on equity and justice. I think whatever you are going to discuss during this program, I think you must keep all this into your mind. And of course, the changing demands of the labor market, according to the situation, because changes are taking very rapidly. So there should be a response to regional demands, national demands. Patterns of employment are also changing. Whatever it was relevant yesterday is not relevant today. Tomorrow it is going to be obsolete. So we all should be ready enough for that matter. So what kind of requirement would be there after 5 years down the line? So if we are going to do this kind of exercise, we can excel in the market. Our students will be relevant. Otherwise, they will become obsolete. So there is a need to change the course content accordingly. Means course curriculum, I think according to we must revise, taking the global consideration, national consideration, local consideration into the mind. Then we will be able to create the students or produce the students which would be globally relevant. He or she can be employable globally or even nationally or locally. And for that matter, our role is again important. We cannot deny this fact. So adaptability, increasing adaptability amongst ourselves. Changes require increasing adaptability among the academic staff. Academic staff means the teacher. So we have to become very smart. And how we are going to deal, what kind of classes will be there, then in order to meet all these challenges, of course, apart from the academic, this is also very important that in order to meet the management of the institutions to which we talk, institute need to respond positively. So of course we are important, but other stakeholders, as I do, there's a need to be responsive and able to change in accordance with the changing policy of the government, external demands, and the societal needs. So we have to work, means top level management, administrative staff, academic staff, they all should work together. Then I think this could be made possible. There's a greater awareness of international perspective in the content of the courses. Sometimes we go to different university beyond I think internationally and learn something. And after coming back, we try to impart. The curriculum must be updated, keeping employers, government, and students into the mind. So here, I think it needs more elaboration. So how it needs more elaboration means it could be only done with our own research, with our own understanding. And there's a need for more inter-institutional cooperation. Today's I think it should be at the top level, means government, at the top level management, even at the faculty. When we go, so what kind of research is the requirement today? So not individual research, but taking some of your faculty, colleagues, friends, not within the country, outside the country, and collaborative kind of research has become the need of the day today. So in a way, if we are going, so we can use the resources optimally. Let me tell you that 1,200 universities are established already, are there in our own country. And in terms of infrastructure, there are some which are very rich, there are some which are not so well off. So if we have the collaboration, because we all are working for the betterment of the nation, for the betterment of the society. So if we start sharing our resources, even exchange of faculty very rapidly, I think we can do much more what we are doing today. So there should be a collaboration, institutional collaboration, cooperation. I think we can use our resources. So take your university, someone university, AMU, BHU, JNU, or Jamia, or all. So they differ in terms of the resources. So if we share our resources for of the benefit, I think it will be good. Can I request our friends to kindly mute your mic, please? I think there's a disturbance.
I am muting them.
Please do that. So let us proceed further. I will take only 5-10 minutes, and then I will definitely give floor will be open for your question and the queries. So there's a growing emphasis on quality of teaching as well as research. Let me repeat to you that academic staff here, because we all are the academic who are sitting here. So teaching staff would have the following competency. Of course, you all are competent. I don't have any doubt on it. But again, it becomes very important to reiterate. So it is said that there is an awareness, understanding of different ways in which students learn. So how you can decide and you can understand if you are committed to a scholarship, if you are committed to professionally committed to your class or to your students, I think you can understand what kind of a strategy I am supposed to follow so that students can learn maximally or optimally. I think you have to do. Means if you are going to the class, students are not in a mood to be taught today due to certain valid reason. So you have to take your own decision. So you should be very flexible, not rigid. So empathy, you have to develop the idea of empathy, and then diversity and everything. I think you can address the students in a better way. I think you can have the whole idea is that how you can understand the mind of the students, psychology of you have to understand the psychology of the students. And if you are going to do it, I think you can impart in a better way. For that matter, knowledge and skills are very important, no doubt about that. Scholarship, and there should be commitment to a scholarship in the discipline or maintaining professional standards and knowledge of the course of the current development. I think this is all very important for the faculty life, and for that matter, I think passion becomes very important. So if we are passionate about our teaching, which is considered to be the best profession in the world, let me tell you, we are fortunate enough to get this kind of profession, which is considered to be not only considered, it is the best. Let me tell you. So here, and for teaching staff, I think again, and then research. As I told you, the two very important, of course, other than we take many responsibility in the university, administrative responsibility, as finance officer, sometimes coordinator and anything. But our main responsibilities are to project the knowledge, means teaching, and one is to generate new idea, means research. So for that matter, we also guide our students, mentoring our students. So how it is today in the very tough time, in the very contemporary time, I think how we are going to do this kind of, how to prepare a good research proposal. If this proposal is submitted to different funding agencies, national funding agencies, like ICSR, ICHR, and ICCR, or many more, NRA, which is coming. So unless until we have the skills to write or to develop a good research proposal, I think things will not move in the right direction. Other than that, there's a shortage of funds, finance for networking, international networking, and fundraising for the projects become very important. Managing PhD students and the researcher. And today, let me tell you that if you are really interested for research, and if you are having some students, I think fund can be generated, funds can be managed. Many avenues are there. That is not only at the national level, even at the international level, like World Bank, and then World Health Organization, WHO, UNESCO, UNDP, so many. So you have to search and you have to see. As when we become interested to go to other countries for attending seminars, symposium, workshop, I think we search and we get it and we go normally. So in the same way, if we are really interested for research, to which you should be, I think avenues are there, and you have to search the avenue. You will get it funds at the national level. Even many private endeavors, entrepreneurship is also giving a lot of funds for undertaking the research. So many opportunity challenges are there. For many challenges are there, but even within the challenges, many opportunity could be explored. As the dynamic scholars like you can do this. So these are the challenges, these are the opportunities. As at the macro level, I told you that demographic dividend means we have a pool of resources in the sense that population, potential population. If we convert this population into the human capital, it will not only be the benefiting our own economy, but it will also be the surplus which can go to different parts of the world, global market, and they can earn a lot of money, and that money will be sent back to India, as it is the trend today. So here opportunities are there. But at the same time, if we fail this kind of responsibility, if we will not be able to convert this population, young population, youth into the human capital, means if we will not be made them employable, I think they will become the liability, because this kind of situation is not going to continue for all times to come. Means the lifespan of demographic dividend is only for 50 years. And it all began in our own country by 2005, it all began. So it will continue only 2055. Thereafter, same pocket of population to which we are celebrating will come into the category of the old age. Just add 30 years in their today's age. I think 20 average age is 28. If you are 30, it will cross 50, 58 or 60. So we, and many countries, we have witnessed that many countries have taken the advantage. Take the example of Singapore, South Korea, and many more countries have taken the advantage of this demographic dividend. So it's a chance for India to take the advantage of demographic dividend. Otherwise, see the case of the European countries, they are struggling and they are facing with this old age population. Ours is a population which is 28, means really young age. So, and that could be done by improving the condition of higher education, means status of higher education more specifically, or education as a whole. And for human capital, of course, education, training, skills are important, but at the same time, health, care comes second. So with the help of healthcare, and rightful kind of education, skills, and training, we can convert and we should convert this population into the human capital, and our country can shine like anything. So this is all I wanted to share with you with this. I'm so thankful to all of you, especially to the coordinator, Mr. Vijapur Saab, for having
Thank you.
this great chance to talk to you. And I'm sure that you would have many questions. Deliberately, I have left some of the time so
Thank you.
that you could raise your questions and the queries. I will try my level best to answer your questions and the query. Any question relating to higher education, and higher education is so broad, even human rights, social justice, equity, educational value, everything comes under that purview. So you are open to ask any question, and I am assuring that I will try my level best to answer you. If not, your course coordinator is here, he will respond to you.
Thank you.
so
Thank
much
you,
again.
प्रोफेसर अनिसुरहमान साहब. ये एक बहुत ही इम्पोर्टेंट विषय है, हायर एजुकेशन इन इंडिया. हायर एजुकेशन has expanded a lot during the last 75 years. लेकिन क्वालिटी इसकी बड़ी खराब है, because the quality of education is very poor. हम ये कहते हैं कि भाई इंडिया में फेल होना बड़ा मुश्किल है, because everybody passes the examination. इंग्लैंड में जब एडमिशन होता है ग्रेजुएशन में, तो 30% स्टूडेंट्स फेल हो जाते हैं फर्स्ट ईयर में, और फिर उनको एक चांस दिया जाता है, ओनली वन चांस टू इम्प्रूव देयर ग्रेड्स और टू पास और क्लियर द कोर्सेज, और वो भी समर वेकेशन में होता है एग्जाम. दिस आई एम टेलिंग यू बिकॉज आई वाज माई सेल्फ ए स्टूडेंट इन इंग्लैंड फॉर ए ईयर एंड डिड मास्टर्स ऑन ए ब्रिटिश गवर्नमेंट स्कॉलरशिप. अगर आप समर वेकेशन में पास नहीं होते हैं, तो देन no second chance will be given and you will be expelled from university or college and you cannot get admission in entire England. देखिए कितना strict system है. How strict is the system there? And इंडिया में हमने बड़ा easy बना दिया सिस्टम को, और वहां पर क्लासेस 2 घंटे की होती हैं. अमेरिका में 3 घंटे की होती हैं. कंटिन्यूअसली यू हैव टू टीच फॉर 3 hours. I used to teach in Canada for 3 hours. एक 10 मिनट का टी ब्रेक होता है बीच में. तो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स वेस्ट की तरफ भाग रहे हैं. Many students are enrolling in foreign universities, Harvard, Cambridge, Oxford, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, यहाँ तक कि चाइना को भी जा रहे हैं हमारे स्टूडेंट. अभी इजराइल ईरान की वार से पता चला कि कई इंडियन स्टूडेंट्स आर स्टडिंग इन ईरान में भी पढ़ रहे हैं. Why we are going abroad? 2025 में गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया का डेटा कहता है 1.8 मिलियन स्टूडेंट्स आर स्टडिंग अब्रॉड. देखिए 18 लाख लोग पढ़ रहे हैं, और पैसा कितना खर्च हो रहा है? 60 बिलियन US डॉलर्स, क्योंकि वहां ट्यूशन फी बहुत हाई है. नियरली 6,000 करोड़ रुपीस हम खर्च कर रहे हैं. अगर हम यहाँ पे बेस्ट एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशंस बनाते, तो ये स्टूडेंट्स वहां पे नहीं जाते. अब आप सिर्फ एक पॉइंट से अंदाजा लगाइए, आजादी से पहले इंडिया में कुछ लोगों को नोबेल प्राइज मिला, आजादी के बाद किसी को नहीं मिला. इसी से अंदाजा लगाइए. एक मेरे स्टूडेंट का, जहां से अनीसुररहमान साहब भी PhD किए हैं, जवाहरलाल नेहरू यूनिवर्सिटी, one student from Jawaharlal Nehru University got Nobel Prize. अभिजीत बनर्जी उनका नाम है. सिर्फ MA किया उन्होंने इंडिया में, JNU में. PhD पोस्ट डॉक्टरल सारा फॉरेन में किया, अमेरिका में किया. ही इज अमेरिकन प्रोफेसर. इसी से अंदाजा लगाइए. एक कहावत है, हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी, अगर आप कभी जाएं, मेरा मौका नहीं मिला जाने का, शायद हमारे अनीस साहब गए हों. हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में आप कहें खड़े हो जाइए किसी भी जगह पे, एक पत्थर लीजिए, अपने आंख बंद कीजिए, पत्थर को किसी भी डायरेक्शन पे फेंक दीजिए, एटलीस्ट इट विल हिट वन नोबेल लॉरिएट. वहां घूमते रहते हैं नोबेल लॉरिएट, रास्ते में घूमते रहते हैं, कई लोग रहते हैं. तो इस तरह की यूनिवर्सिटीज हैं। ये पॉलिटिकल इंटरफियरेंस इन द यूनिवर्सिटीज इज क्रिएटिंग प्रॉब्लम्स। अब ट्रम्प वहां पे हार्वर्ड को प्रॉब्लम कर रहा है, इंडिया में हमारे नेता लोग प्रॉब्लम्स करते रहते हैं, यूनिवर्सिटीज में इंटरफियर करते रहते हैं। तो जो हमारे जो एजुकेशन कमीशन थे, राधाकृष्णन जो प्रेसिडेंट भी बने बाद में, टीचर्स डे हम उनके नाम पे मनाते हैं। बिफोर बिकमिंग वाइस प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया ही वाज प्रोफेसर ऑफ ओरिएंटल फिलोसफी इन ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी। ऑक्सफोर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी में वो ओरिएंटल फिलोसफी पढ़ाते थे। उसके बाद सेकंड कमीशन बना DS कोठारी, वो बड़े साइंटिस्ट थे। राजीव गांधी के टाइम पे एक पॉलिसी आई, नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी 1986, उसी के तहत HRDC। देखिए हमें बड़ा मजा आता है नाम बदलने में। शहर का नाम बदलो, यूनिवर्सिटी का नाम बदलो, एकेडमिक स्टाफ कॉलेज का नाम बदल के ह्यूमन रिसोर्स डेवलपमेंट सेंटर करो, फिर बदलो, फिर MMTCR करो। अब अगली सरकार आएगी कुछ और नाम दे देगी। नाम बदलने से कंटेंट नहीं बदलता है। यू हैव टू हैव द क्वालिटी एजुकेशन देने के लिए बड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है। अच्छे टीचर्स को बनाने के लिए बड़ी मेहनत करनी पड़ती है। अच्छा, कुछ हाउ डू यू गेट नॉलेज, मोर नॉलेज? जब आप डिफरेंट यूनिवर्सिटीज में पढ़ेंगे, अपने स्टेट में पढ़िए, फिर किसी और स्टेट में पढ़िए, किसी और कैपिटल सिटी में पढ़िए, फॉरेन में जाइए, तो यू गेट नॉलेज। अब कुछ एक हमारे ऐसे टीचर्स हैं जिन्होंने अपने डिस्ट्रिक्ट को छोड़ के कहीं नहीं गए, वहीं की कॉलेज में पढ़े, वहीं की यूनिवर्सिटी में पढ़े, वहीं जॉब लिया, वहीं रिटायर्ड हो गए और वहीं डेथ हो गया उनका। सी हाउ कैन यू ग्रो intellectually if we can think of having interdisciplinary approach, multidisciplinary approach, inclusive education, सारे लोगों को मौका दे दें। अफोर्डेबल एजुकेशन शुड बी अफोर्डेबल, क्वालिटी एजुकेशन भी होनी चाहिए, अफोर्डेबल भी होनी चाहिए, अकाउंटेबिलिटी भी होनी चाहिए, एक्सेस भी होनी चाहिए, तब जाके हमारा एजुकेशन सिस्टम सुधरेगा। ये मेन जड़ कहाँ पर है? जड़ है UGC। मेन प्रॉब्लम इज क्रिएटेड बाय UGC, यूनिवर्सिटी ग्रांट्स कमीशन। अभी उसको प्रताप भानु मेहता ने कहा कि भाई इट इज यूनिवर्सिटी गिमिक कमीशन, गिमिक करते रहते हैं ना। यू सी मेनी ऑफ द प्रोजेक्ट्स और स्कीम्स ऑफ UGC आर नॉट गुड। जैसा उन्होंने पाठशाला बनाया, नोट्स हैं, पाठशाला में नोट्स हैं। अरे भाई, स्टूडेंट को खुद कहिए अपने नोट्स खुद बनाएं, 4-5 किताबें पढ़ें और नोट्स बनाएं। व्हाई शुड वी गिव रेडीमेड नोट्स टू द स्टूडेंट्स? ये रॉन्ग अप्रोच है। अनलेस वी करेक्ट आवर अप्रोच। हाँ, आप रीडिंग लिस्ट दीजिए, स्टूडेंट को अच्छे ऑथर्स की किताब पढ़वाइए। जैसा अगर हम अरिस्टोटल को पढ़ा रहे हैं तो अरिस्टोटल का टेक्स्ट पढ़वाइए। You see, my daughter did graduation from Shiv Nadar University. बड़ा अच्छा पढ़ाते हैं, अच्छे टीचर्स हैं वहाँ पर, और स्टूडेंट्स फॉरेन कंट्रीज में भी आर्टिकल छापते हैं। फ्रेंड्स, आई विल नॉट टेक मच टाइम। अभी हमारे पास कितने मिनट हैं? अराउंड 20 मिनट हैं। 20 मिनट में आप अपने क्वेरीज, क्वेश्चंस, डाउट्स, ऑब्जर्वेशन, अपने इनसाइट्स दीजिए। 1-2-3 लोग हैं थोड़ा हंगामा कर रहे हैं, मैं उनको या तो क्लास से हटा दूंगा। ठीक है, मैं एक्सपेल यू। प्लीज म्यूट योर माइक। अगर आप म्यूट नहीं करेंगे तो हम आपको इस सेशन से बाहर कर देंगे। नाउ द फ्लोर इज फॉर द पार्टिसिपेंट्स। सवाल पूछिए, हम दोनों में से कोई भी जवाब देगा। जी
Sir, I am Dr. Gulnawaz Usmani. Thank you, Professor Rahman sir, for giving us such a wonderful lecture on the education. The question is related to NEP 2020. Sir, I just want to ask that to what extent NEP 2020 helps the student to promote the skills and employability among the graduates? Because it helps the student. focus on everything. So is it really to promote this skills and employability?
Just repeat it. दोबारा बताइए जरा please.
Sir, my
आवाज आ रही है. I think ask the student. I think teachers not to speak.
my question is, to what extent NEP 2020 helps to promote the skills and employability among the graduates?
Good. Very good question.
Thank you.
Let me try to answer you, taking the NEP into the mind. I think, see, previously there was other kind of structure. Now restructuring has been done, taking the point into the mind that we will change the syllabus according to time, place, condition, and situation, taking the market into the consideration. And see, after completing 1 year, if the student is interested and he or she has some problem, he can leave it and take the employment. Okay. And previously it was you need to complete 3 years, then you would get the degree. But today, I think for completion of 1 year, you can get the certificate. You means any student can get the certificate, and he or she can go to the market, take the job, and skills. And you need to create the course that would be skill based. I think it has been clearly said in that one. And due to that reason, even the situation does not allow for after 1 year, one can go taking the only certificate, and thereafter, whenever he or she thinks, he can come and enter into that one. So after 1 year, certificate, then completion of 2 years, diploma after completion of 3 years, degree after completion of 4 years, degree with research. So there is a landmark, many milestones. Taking that weave into the mind that it might be possible that you don't afford to take 3 years in one stage. So it has been made in a split manner. So you can go to the market. Thereafter, when you have the situation, positive situation, you can come again to complete your thing. So it is made skill oriented, employment oriented. As I again said that I think whatever the national education policy is mentioning, but who will do this? We as a teacher need to implement it. We as a policy makers, we as an Indian need to implement it. And if any shortfalls, if any shortcomings come, you can detect, and I think it's a roadmap. Let me tell you, the national education policy is broadly, it's a sketch, it's a roadmap. Within that, so many, I think it is dynamic also. So many kind of what I said that a scope is there, you can bring the change. It is not rigid, rather it is dynamic, it is changeable. Why? So that we are practicing education, we are the teacher, we understand better. So there is a scope as how to make it skill oriented and how we can help the students. So why it is said that it should be learner centric, means student centric. Whatever we are learning, whatever we are witnessing today and in the past, it was completely teacher oriented, teacher centric. जो हमें आज दिल करेगा आज पढ़ाएंगे, नहीं किया तो. लेकिन आप he rightly, Professor Bijapur rightly pointed out that if you see the rigor in our own system and in the West, I think no match at all. So we have to bring the rigor in our own system. Nobody is stopping to bring. So who will do? Problems are enormous. Problems are from all directions. We cannot deny this fact. But we don't have other option. We have the option to improve the condition in terms of the quality, I think, but not only in the name of quality. We cannot stop the education that it should be only limited to someone. We have to make our education which would be all inclusive, it would be open to all, not only in theory, but in practice as well. For that matter, our role is very, very inevitable and very pivotal and very, I think, crucial for that matter. And here we have been sensitized. What is the function of this center? Is to sensitize us, to make awareness, the relevance, importance of all these things. We all have connected here and we are learning. So in a way, we are being sensitized to each other. Okay, this is our responsibility. Let us try to do it. Who will create the rigor? Who will create the system which would have the rigor and tough? He said that after one time, that too in the summer break. So if we start doing it, nobody will stop us. So this is our society, this is our country. So we must learn something from outside. If something is better than what we are having, let us try to imitate, let us try to take it for our own benefit, for our own country. So unless until we are going to make our system, our curriculum, is skill oriented, I think we are not going to realize the dream of the developed nation or the Vikshit Bharat. So we have to play our very prominent role. Let us see the positive side also. This system or this government or this society has given this kind of opportunity to all of us. Let's be very practical. What was the situation in fourth commission, fifth commissions, and then sixth commission? Commission, I'm talking of our pay packages. A little bit better if you compare with fourth and then fifth and sixth. So we are in the ascending order. So handsomely we are getting a lot of funds, lot of salary today. We can manage our family in a better way, no doubt about that. We can maintain whatever the comforts are there today. So let us try to take a place that we should contribute whatever we can contribute to the maximum for the growth and the development of our own country. In a way, we all are going to be benefited. Our coming generation will be benefited. So here the problem is that many times we become very critical of the globalization. But whatever globalization has brought some positive point, let us imitate, let us try to take it. As again, I am repeating that we cannot stop. Foreign universities are going to come in our own country. Private university has already intruded. So we have to accept the reality. See the situation, if you know somebody who are working in the private university, accountability is there. Accountability in the sense that you have to write the paper, and that would be published in the Scopus. If you don't do it, if I don't do it, I think there's a problem. But so far as the public university is concerned, nobody cares. But voluntarily we all should do. See, we should see the positive side also without all limitation. Who will do it today? This country belongs to us, this society belongs. So this is our responsibility to make this better and better. And we can take our country at par with any country or any society for that matter. As he said, the Harvard or all these top-notch university at the world. So let us try to move in that direction. The day will come, we will also match with that standard of that better university or the best university or top 100 university. So we are on that path. So our role must be recognized, as we have been recognized. Teachers have been recognized in a better way, especially in this national education policy. So let us do it. Let us try to create the system which would be all proof and which would be better than what is today.
Next question is from Pokizon Mariam.
Thank you,
Yeah.
sir.
Yes,
Thank you.
Mariam.
Sir, yeah. So I wanted to put forward one question from NEP 2020. NEP 2020, it focuses on multidisciplinary approach. And for this, it requires many infrastructural facilities as well. And I am from northeast of India, from Nagaland. And comparing to mainland India, here in Nagaland, infrastructural facilities are also very inferior. And especially in rural areas. And so coming from an underdeveloped state like Nagaland, so in the idea of multidisciplinary approach seems to be very far-fetched. So, concerning this, how can this policy be implemented practically so that we can benefit the rural and the urban areas can benefit equally?
Very good question. Very good question. You have raised no doubt about that. There's a lack of infrastructure. As I also, while speaking to you all, I said that 1,200 universities are there, and these all universities differ from one to another. So basically, we need a lot of infrastructure, even to make it realize of the digital India. I think again, the problem is that as again and again it is highlighted that whatever the requirement fund, I'm talking about the fund, is not coming. Means we have been talking since 40 or 50 years that at least 6% of the GDP must go. And many countries have already done, but we are not doing it. So yeah, if we don't do it, thrice it has been recommended by the expert committee, first committee and then second committee, and then even in 2020, it has been clearly said 6% GDP, and 6% is not adequate, let me tell you. But even it has been not been implemented. So what basically I could respond to your question that we as a faculty, let's be very practical and honest also. Let us try to highlight this kind of situation is there. There's a lack of fund, there's a lack of kind of things. On the basis of your study, deep study, objective study, I think if we try to highlight, the day will come. I think it will be heard, and it will be taken into the policy condition, policy consideration. I think two things are very important. For that matter, I think what is important that education and the health. With missing education and health, no country can prosper. So it has already been proved that two sectors, that is called social sector, education and health, that must be kept at the top level, at the priority level, which is still missing in our own country. So ours is a country which is completely democratic as we claim, and to a larger extent we are witnessing and we are watching. So what we can do is to highlight all these malaise, all these problems in a better way, and the day will come, because it's a matter of priority. Unless until we take the priority of education and health, I think, of course, problem is very acute. And so far as the case of Northeast is concerned, again, I will highlight and I will strongly urge that all these faculties, those who have not visited Northeast, they must go. I think government is again prioritizing that. Even you can take the LTC, those who belong to the central government, I think they can go. Without going to other countries, I think we need to see our own country. What kind of differentiation, what kind of situation is there? Unless until we see, I think problems will not be there. So we as an Indian, we as a human being, I think there's a need to highlight all these pathetic situations. So if you see the Delhi-based colleges or the university, so see differences there. If you go to north, east, or at many far off places, so there's a need to highlight. There's a need to bring all these issue into the national issue. How it could be done? So the day will come, it will be heard, and it will be listened. And of course, there's a lack of serious infrastructure. Our all university, our all academic institutions, especially those who are far off of the center, are facing today. Unless until we improve, I think situation even multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary will be only found in paper. I think for that infrastructure, financial resources becomes very important. Unless until we do that, I think we will not be able to address the very good points of the national education policy, interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary. It seems to be very fascinating. For that matter, we need to make a lot of effort in terms of finance also.
3 और लोगों के हाथ रेज हुए हैं, अब्दुल बासित, देन प्रतिमा देवी और भावना सिंह. ब्रीफ क्वेश्चन पूछिए.
To the point.
ब्रीफ आंसर दीजिए, ब्रीफ आंसर. ब्रीफ
अच्छा
क्वेश्चन,
आंसर।
ब्रीफ, प्रिसाइज क्वेश्चन, प्रिसाइज आंसर, टू द पॉइंट आंसर, क्योंकि हमें फिर 12:30 पे नेक्स्ट सेशन शुरू करना है।
ओके ओके।
Sir, actually, my question is already answered. What madam asked right now about the infrastructural divide, I too had the same question.
गुड।
उसको उसपे हम सबको काम करना पड़ेगा, उसको हाईलाइट करना जरूरी है। दैट शुड बी हाईलाइटेड, दैट शुड
Yes,
बी,
sir.
आई थिंक वही टू हैव द अटेंशन, I think that is the only practical answer to which it comes to my mind. Yes.
सर बहुत शुक्रिया, बहुत अच्छा लेक्चर था, बहुत मुबारक और बहुत शुक्रिया सर आपका। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन वैसा कुछ नहीं है, जो एक प्रैक्टिकल हम लोग जो फेस कर रहे हैं। मैं सर अब्दुल बासित, मैं झारखंड से हूँ सर, मैं यहाँ रांची यूनिवर्सिटी में गवर्नमेंट कॉलेज में। सर प्रैक्टिकली ये है कि अब बच्चों का इंटरेस्ट दिन ब दिन जो है वो एनईपी 2020 आने के बाद दिन ब दिन बच्चों का इंटरेस्ट जो है वो एजुकेशन में खत्म होता चला जा रहा है और बच्चे बहुत कम एडमिशन ले रहे हैं। रांची यूनिवर्सिटी की हालत ये है कि इस साल 20,000 कम सीटें भरी गई हैं सर रांची यूनिवर्सिटी में, जबकि यहाँ पर तकरीबन 60,000 सीटें थी, तो 40,000 सीटें ही सिर्फ आई। नंबर 1। नंबर 2 ये है सर कि इसकी वजह ये है सर कि 4 ईयर कोर्स हो गया है, तो पहला एक जो ये बिल्कुल गरीब इलाका आता है और गुर्बत की वजह से बहुत सारे बच्चे जो है 4 साल सुनकर ही डर जाते हैं, पहली बात। सर एनईपी 2020 में सर वोकेशनल को जबरदस्ती का शामिल किया गया है, या फिर जिस वजह से भी शामिल किया गया है, तो वो चूंकि जैसा कि आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर जवाब भी दे रहे थे सर, आप इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पे जवाब भी दे रहे थे, लेकिन सर अभी तक टीचर अवेलेबल नहीं हो सके हैं। बास्केट ऑफ सब्जेक्ट्स तो मिल गए हैं, उसमें किसी तरीके से एडजस्ट करके हम लोग काम चला रहे हैं, या टीचर्स अदर यूनिवर्सिटीज में भी काम चला रहे हैं, ठीक है। तो ये सर बिल्कुल मतलब मुझे नहीं लग रहा है कि ये प्रैक्टिकली जो है वो जो फील्ड पे जो कामयाबी हमें हासिल होनी चाहिए, एनपी 2020 को हासिल होनी चाहिए, बजाय कामयाबी के जो है निगेटिविटी की तरफ हम लोग जा रहे हैं। तो सर ये कहाँ तक सही होगा?
अब आप आई थिंक आई गॉट द आंसर। बहुत ही शॉर्ट में हम इसका जवाब देंगे, एज इट वाज राइटली पॉइंटेड बाय द कोऑर्डिनेटर। देखिए ऐसा कि प्रैक्टिकली ये है, जो आपने कहा कि 4 साल बहुत लंबा हो गया, तो उसमें देखा ना, अभी तो बताया कि उसमें एक माइलस्टोन हो गया, 1 साल के बाद फिर दूसरे साल, फिर तीसरे साल, चौथे साल, ये रिसर्च। तो इसीलिए उसमें 4 पार्ट कर दिया गया ना। 1 साल के बाद सर्टिफिकेट मिल जाए, दूसरे के बाद डिप्लोमा मिल जाएगा, तीसरे डिग्री, और उसके बाद डिग्री विद रिसर्च हो जाएगा। तो आप अगर होल देखें, मास्टर्स तक जाकर के फिर टाइम तो उतना ही लग रहा है। और इसलिए कि आगे कि पूरी दुनिया में इस तरह के वो टेस्टेड है, और उसमें मुझे लग रहा है कामयाबी मिली है, बेहतर है। जो हमारा सिस्टम था वो एक तरह से चरमरा गया है, फेल है। अब कोई चीज फेल होता है तो उसको रिप्लेसमेंट चाहिए ना वैसे। और पूरी दुनिया का जिस तरह का एक सिस्टम है, उस तरह अगर रहेंगे तो हमें मतलब एक ग्लोबली भी हमारा एक नॉलेजमेंट रहेगा, और उसका समझिए कि एक क्या कहेंगे कि इम्प्लॉयबिलिटी बढ़ेगी। इम्प्लॉयबिलिटी बढ़ाने के लिए किया गया। रही बात की, कहा कि ऑल ऑफ ए सडन एनईपी की वजह से, तो मुझे नहीं लगता है कि उस आपका जो कम हो गया, जो अटेंडेंस, जो लोगों का एडमिशन कम हो गया, मुझे नहीं लगता कि उसकी वजह से हुआ। क्योंकि आप खुद सोचिए, पहले अगर मान ले कि 3 साल कंप्लीट करते तब आपको एक डिग्री मिलता, अब तो इसमें एक बना दिया है ना कि 3, एक सर्टिफिकेट, डिप्लोमा और डिग्री मिलेगा। तो मुझे लग रहा है कि पहले वाला जो सिस्टम था, कहीं ना कहीं उसमें प्रॉब्लम थी, जैसे क्वालिटी की बहुत सारी। तो ये स्ट्रक्चरल चेंज किया गया कि सो दैट वी कैन डू बेटर, इसको बेटरमेंट के लिए किया गया। रही बात की आपने जो टीचर्स की अपॉइंटमेंट की बात की, सारी तो निटी क्रिटी है या बहुत सीरियस इश्यूज है। ये रहा कि इसका तो मुझे लग रहा कि ये बहुत सोचने की बात है। और ये जब तक हम आपको बहुत बता रहे हैं, क्योंकि डेमोक्रेटिक कंट्री जो कहते हैं डेमोक्रेटिक, इसके कुछ फॉल आउट्स भी हैं, शॉर्ट फॉल्स भी हैं, इसको डिनाई नहीं कर सकते। रही बात की, देखिए हमें वही मिलता है जो हमें चाहिए। तो मुझे लगता है कि एजुकेशन और हेल्थ हमें चाहिए भी। मुझे तो ये लगता है, कभी किसी के एजेंडा में, कोई पॉलिटिकल पार्टी के एजेंडा में, मैंने उसके मैनिफेस्टो में मैंने प्रोमिनेंटली नहीं देखा। तो मुझे लगता है कि हाँ, आवाम को, जनता को जो मुझे लगता है कि वो चाहिए ही नहीं, मुझे तो यही लगा। रही बात की, फिर प्रैक्टिकल हम जवाब दे रहे हैं, इसमें कहीं ना कहीं जैसे टीचर, हम वी शुड बी हेल्ड अकाउंटेबल। अकाउंटेबल। देखिए समाज को कहा नहीं कि समाज निर्माता जो होता है ना, कहा ना डेस्टिनी मेकर, ये हमारा रोल जो है ना शायद हम जितना प्ले कर सकते हैं उतना नहीं कर रहे हैं। तो हमें ये जरूरत है कि हम एक अच्छे समाज को बनाने में जितनी मदद होनी चाहिए, जितना हमारा होना चाहिए एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन, उतना नहीं है। तो मुझे लगता है कि इसको रीथिंक करके हम सबको करना चाहिए, वैसे तभी जा करके होगा। और जहां तक ये देखिए एक चीज नहीं है, ये विशियस सर्किल एक होता है, ये विशियस सर्किल क्रिएट हो गया। ये विशियस सर्किल जब तक टूटेगा नहीं तब तक नहीं होगा। अगर स्टूडेंट को ये लगे, आने वाली जो नस्ल है स्टूडेंट को लगे कि हमें ये करने से हमें जॉब इमीडिएट, देखिए ये कहते हैं फिलोसफिकली कि एजुकेशन डजंट मीन कि हम एम्प्लॉयमेंट, but immediate concern of education is to get employment. इसको we cannot deny this fact. But philosophically, yeah, it brings enlightenment, it brings a lot of things. वो सारी चीजें ठीक है. But education, employment is important. रही बात कि अगर बच्चों को, स्टूडेंट को ये लगे कि हमें ये करने से जॉब मिलेगी, बिल्कुल वो आएंगे। रही बात कि उसमें फिर हमारा रोल जो जितना होना चाहिए था और ज्यादा होना चाहिए, तभी जाकर के शायद ये बात बनेगी। वैसे हमारा रोल सिर्फ एक टीचर का ही नहीं है, अब हमारा एक मेंटर का, एक काउंसलर का, काउंसलिंग, मेंटरिंग, ये टर्मिनोलॉजी है, कोई मीनिंग रखता है वैसे इसका। इस तरह का हम करें तो मुझे लगता है कि फिर एक दिन में तो नहीं होगा, एक टाइम आएगा कि सारी चीजें ठीक होना शुरू हो जाएंगी। वैसे
थैंक यू
सर मेरा
सर। हाँ, लास्ट क्वेश्चन आप प्रतिमा जी, आप थैंक्स भी दे दीजिए।
माई सेल्फ प्रोमिता गौड़े। तो मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि व्हाट इज योर ओपिनियन अबाउट द प्राइवेटाइजेशन ऑफ दिस हायर एजुकेशन इंस्टीट्यूट?
अच्छा, very short I will. I think privatization has become Indian, whether we accept it or not, whether we happily accept it or not, but it has become the reality, it will go on. So what basically is the take for all of us to compete with the private, compete with the foreign university? That is I think that is the immediate, solution. We cannot stop. I think government has already said that yes, we cannot afford to increase the gross enrollment ratio. We need to take the help from the private leaders, private university. So how quality could be ensured, standard can be maintained. Again, it is a business, it is the responsibility of the regulatory body, but we as a faculty, we cannot stop. So what we can do, we can try to excel so that we can do something on the part of the public funded institution. Otherwise, we have been debating for a long time, and since early 90s, many private universities have come and they are going to spread. And government is saying that yes, we have to increase this gross enrollment ratio. So we don't have fun that we can cater the requirement of our own society. So of course, but one thing we cannot say that the government should accept its responsive. They should.
Sir, sorry to disturb you in between.
So that
yes, we are going to conclude. We are going to conclude, Mazhar Saab.
Thank you once again. Thank
Next,
you so much.
Friends, we will continue. Next resource person has already come and he has joined on the another link. आप सब लोग इस लिंक से एग्जिट हो जाइए और फिर दूसरी लिंक में I had requested प्रतिमा जी to